Hi, I am Dr. Mike Van Thielen, expert biohacker and mentor, best-selling author, TEDx speaker, international keynote speaker, world record holder in swimming. I also am certified in molecular hydrogen by the Molecular Hydrogen Institute, and I'm the owner of Biohacking Unlimited. If you scan the QR code on your screen, you can get to my website. There you will find my credentials. You will find my books, the keynote speaking page, and also my mentorship programs, virtual training programs, and many free resources. Today, I will be decoding the effects of molecular hydrogen scientifically and discover together with you the therapeutic applications of this novel medical gas. Learning objectives. We will review the vast scientific literature related to molecular hydrogen. We will learn how molecular hydrogen impacts human biology and physiology and understand the mechanisms of action of molecular hydrogen and its impact on disease. We will discuss how molecular hydrogen may help reverse aging and show you how to implement molecular hydrogen in the clinical setting. Here is our brief agenda for today, so let's start with a short introduction. Hydrogen comes from the Greek words hydro, meaning water, and gen or genes, meaning creator, because hydrogen forms water when burned. While hydrogen was known in a rudimentary form in the 16th century, it wasn't until the 18th century when British scientist Henry Cavendish identified hydrogen as a separate substance or element in 1766. In 1783, approximately 6 years prior to the French Revolution, the hydrogen balloon was developed, and hydrogen's role in airships continued well into the 20th century, with the infamous Hindenburg being a notable example. In the 20th century, we also saw a breakthrough in the industrial applications of hydrogen, including the synthesis of ammonia from nitrogen and hydrogen, which revolutionized agriculture by enabling mass production of fertilizers. Hydrogen also found a new application in petroleum refining, removing sulfur and other impurities from crude oil, producing clean fuels. And as you know, hydrogen became a crucial component of rocket fuel, used extensively by NASA in the Apollo missions. And recently, hydrogen gained attention in the medical field as it seems to have many positive therapeutic effects. Hydrogen is the first element in the periodic table. It is the simplest and lightest element, consisting of just one proton and one electron. Hydrogen also plays a crucial role in the universe, being the primary component of stars and of course a key element in water and organic compounds. The atmosphere is predominantly nitrogen, 78%, and oxygen, 21%. Hydrogen comprises only about 0.00005% of the atmospheric gases by volume. However, it is the most abundant element in the universe. And hydrogen is explosive under certain conditions. When mixed with air or oxygen in the right proportions, typically between 4 and 75% in air, it forms an explosive mixture that can ignite with a spark, heat, or a flame. On the top left, we have the hydrogen atom consisting of one proton and one electron. When a hydrogen atom gains an extra electron, it becomes a negatively charged hydride ion, or H-. Hydrides help in our body's energy production systems, and they are super useful in chemistry because they donate electrons to other molecules, such as antioxidants donating an electron to free radicals to neutralize them. Now, when hydrogen loses an electron, it becomes a positively charged ion known as a proton, H+. Protons bind with other molecules like water to form hydronium ions. This chemistry is the basis of acids and plays a key role in our body, especially in how our cells produce energy. Now, on your bottom left is molecular hydrogen or hydrogen gas. And hydrogen gas is made of two hydrogen atoms bonded together, sharing their single electrons. This covalent bond is a very strong bond, meaning you would need a lot of energy to break it. Hydrogen gas is colorless, odorless, and non-toxic. So while hydrogen anions and cations are charged and very reactive, molecular hydrogen is very stable. Hydrogen and pH are closely related concepts also, because pH stands for potential of hydrogen, and it is a measure of the hydrogen ions or H+ concentration in a solution. In an acidic environment, more hydrogen ions are present, leading to a lower pH. In contrast, a reduction in hydrogen ions results in a higher pH, indicating a more alkaline environment. In the human body, pH balance is critical. For example, the blood pH is slightly alkaline, typically around 7.35, 7.45, and even small deviations can cause health issues. Stomach acid, on the other hand, is very acidic, with a pH of 1.5 to 3.5, aiding in digestion. So while we have been decoding the chemistry of hydrogen, from now on we will only discuss molecular hydrogen, the form with the real therapeutic benefits. A scientific review. Currently, there are about 1,200 scientific studies and white papers on molecular hydrogen, including over 200 human studies. These studies show that molecular hydrogen is proving effective against over 170 common diseases, providing a safe solution and/or adjunct therapy for both humans and animals. Some of these diseases include diabetes, cancer, autoimmune diseases, arthritis, stroke, cardiovascular diseases, neurodegenerative diseases, age-related conditions, mental illness, and GI problems. To understand the vast positive impact of molecular hydrogen on all these diseases and on aging, longevity, and athletic performance, one needs to understand its effect on our biology and physiology. One needs to acknowledge its impact on a cellular and even a mitochondrial level. So here we go. As the smallest and lightest element in the universe, and in addition being non-polar, meaning no charge, it's neutral, it can easily and rapidly diffuse across tissues and cell membranes and exert profound protective and therapeutic effects within the cell and even within the mitochondria. These same properties allow molecular hydrogen to cross the blood-brain barrier, delivering its protective effects directly to the neurons and supporting brain health. The blood-brain barrier, as you know, is a protective shield that separates the circulating blood from the brain's delicate tissues, allowing essential nutrients and oxygen to pass through while blocking harmful substances like toxins and pathogens. Despite its selective nature, certain substances can still sneak through. For example, alcohol, caffeine, and certain drugs can cross the blood-brain barrier, which is why their effects on the brain are so quick and noticeable. Medications that work in other parts of the body often can't pass through the blood-brain barrier, limiting treatment options for neurological conditions such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and brain tumors. Now that we know that molecular hydrogen easily can diffuse through the cell membrane and enter the cell, and also easily can pass the blood-brain barrier and enter brain cells, let's discuss its properties. Molecular hydrogen's number one feature is its role as a powerful and selective antioxidant. Unlike other antioxidants, molecular hydrogen targets oxidative stress at its source, inside the cell, protecting the nucleus, DNA, mitochondria, and proteins. Molecular hydrogen exhibits remarkable selectivity in its antioxidant activity. It neutralizes the most damaging free radicals like hydroxyl free radicals and peroxynitrite, while sparing beneficial ROS, reactive oxygen species, that play crucial roles in cellular signaling and homeostasis. This selective action minimizes oxidative damage without disrupting essential physiological processes. Now, in addition, property number 2, molecular hydrogen has shown to significantly reduce chronic or systemic inflammation, a common cause to most diseases, including cardiovascular diseases, autoimmune diseases, and cancer. Studies show that molecular hydrogen modulates the NRF2 pathway, enhancing cellular resistance to oxidants. It also reduces the levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines such as TNF-alpha, tumor necrosis factor alpha. It also reduces interleukins 1 alpha, 1 beta, 6, 8, and 10, and it influences the regulation of ERS, endoplasmic reticulum stress-related factors, which is beneficial for conditions like RA, rheumatoid arthritis, irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, and allergic reactions. Now, molecular hydrogen's effects extend to the immune system also. Number 3, where it helps regulate T cell, modulates macrophages, modulates the gut immune axis, supports natural killer cells, and protects against autoimmune conditions. While that is very impressive so far, there is more. Autophagy is a cellular process that involves the degradation and recycling of damaged and unnecessary components, playing a crucial role in maintaining cellular homeostasis. Research suggests that molecular hydrogen may influence autophagy in several ways. Number 1, by selectively reducing harmful ROS, reactive oxygen species, molecular hydrogen may prevent the onset of excessive autophagy, which can lead to cell death. Number 2, molecular hydrogen may influence mTOR activity, the mammalian target of rapamycin, promoting beneficial autophagy in response to cellular stress. And number 3, in models of cerebral ischemia, molecular hydrogen supports cytoprotective autophagy in response to cellular injury through helping to clear damaged mitochondria and reduce neural damage. Next, apoptosis. Apoptosis, or programmed cell death, is a natural biological mechanism for removing damaged or unnecessary cells. It keeps the tissues healthy, young, and functional. However, the cells that find a way to resist apoptosis linger within the body, and these cells are called zombie cells or senescent cells. They stop dividing without dying off, and they just take up space, using our energy and nutritional resources without providing a useful function in return. Now, cellular senescence is also considered a distinct hallmark of aging. Molecular hydrogen plays a role in regulating apoptosis by protecting cells from excessive or inappropriate death. How? By reducing oxidative stress and maintaining mitochondrial function. Before we move on, let's recap what we learned so far. Molecular hydrogen is the smallest and lightest element in the universe, and it is not charged, it's neutral, so it can easily cross the cell membrane, enter the cell, and protect the nucleus, the DNA, the RNA, the proteins, and the mitochondria. It can also cross easily the blood-brain barrier and do the same within the brain cells. And then we learned about its properties. It's a powerful selective antioxidant, and it has strong anti-inflammatory properties. And most of us in healthcare believe that those two are the cause of all disease. In addition, it helps manage and boost the immune system, and it modulates autophagy and apoptosis. Now, I also would like to make a connection between molecular hydrogen and NAD+ and NADPH, since hydrogen, after all, is part of the NAD family. Now, we have been talking about cellular and DNA damage, and guess what? We all have an innate DNA repair system called the ARTD1 repair system. Now, this system consists of 17 enzymes that function as DNA damage sensors and signaling molecules. They bind to the damaged DNA, they create a matrix, and they start the repair. So the question is, why does this repair system not seem to work in most of us? Because this repair system needs fuel, and the fuel is NAD+. NAD+ is not only essential in DNA repair, but also key to mitochondrial function, gene expression, and epigenetic modifications. It also promotes sirtuins, our longevity proteins. So now, how do we keep our NAD+ levels high? First of all, we need to implement a low EMR lifestyle, meaning we need to mitigate and lower the exposure to EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, and radiation. We also need adequate rest and sleep, and we can supplement with precursors like tryptophan, niacin, NR, and NMN. We can also do resistance training, but that has been shown to promote NAD+, and obviously we can supplement directly with NAD+, or take infusions of NAD+. So now let's talk about NADPH, because NADPH is the actual battery of our cells. NADPH provides a reservoir of electrons and therefore can donate a continuous supply of electrons to antioxidants. We all know that an antioxidant can donate an electron to a free radical and neutralize it. However, the antioxidant then becomes oxidized and totally useless. But what if? What if we have an unlimited supply of electrons and we could donate another electron to that same antioxidant and another one and another one? Can you see how we could exponentially increase the effectiveness of our fight against excess and harmful free radicals? Yes, I know you can see that. So, how do we increase and maintain NADPH levels? Again, almost the same as NAD+. We need to maintain a low EMR lifestyle. We need to mitigate and avoid as much electromagnetic frequencies and radiation as we can. Number 2, molecular hydrogen. Very important to keep these NADPH levels high because molecular hydrogen inhibits the activation of NOx, the enzyme that breaks down NADPH. Some other ones are Paudarco T because beta-lactone, the main ingredient, is a catalyst for NAD. No eating 3 to 4 hours before bed because it exhausts NAD+ and NADPH. We can also activate the NRF2 pathway, and magnesium also plays an important role here. We know that molecular hydrogen can enter the cell, but can it also enter the mitochondria? Yes, it can. So let's discuss these mitochondria. Mitochondria are our energy factories, and 90% of all cellular energy is generated by our mitochondria through a process called oxidative phosphorylation, which stores energy in the form of ATP. We all know that. But let's take a deeper dive into the mitochondria and let's look at the numbers. We have approximately 37 trillion cells, and each cell has hundreds to hundred thousands of mitochondria. So while some cells, like skin cells, may contain only a few hundred mitochondria, energy-intensive cells such as muscle, brain, and liver cells, they house thousands up to tens of thousands mitochondria per cell. And heart cells, the powerhouses behind every beat, can host up to 100,000 mitochondria. Now, each mitochondrium, each one of them, produces 2 billion ATP per minute. Our body produces hundreds of quadrillions of ATP molecules daily to sustain the 1.8 quadrillion chemical reactions per second. We can't fathom those numbers. The body produces and recycles approximately 300 to 400 pounds of ATP daily. Now, unlike other cellular components, mitochondria also have their own DNA, separate from the nuclear DNA. This double-stranded circular mitochondrial DNA, called mtDNA, it encodes 13 essential proteins needed for energy production, making mitochondria a semi-autonomous power plant. Now, while producing energy, these mitochondria also produce ROS, reactive oxygen species, free radicals, as a byproduct, which can obviously, again, cause oxidative stress and damage the mitochondrial DNA, disrupting energy production and contributing to disease and aging. And once more, the savior is molecular hydrogen, entering the mitochondria, fighting oxidative stress, reducing inflammation, boosting energy production, protecting mitochondrial DNA, and promoting mitophagy, recycling of damaged mitochondria, and promoting mitochondrial biogenesis, making new healthy mitochondria. That's your mitochondria for you. That's how molecular hydrogen has an effect not only within our cells, but within the very energy production factories of the cell, our mitochondria. Molecular hydrogen can enter the cell, can enter the mitochondria, can cross the blood-brain barrier, is a strong selective antioxidant, is a strong anti-inflammatory, boosts the immune system, modulates autophagy and apoptosis, is related to NAD+ and NADPH, right? And what does it do for us, for our longevity, regarding age-related diseases, our health span? Well, does it impact our telomeres is a question that I get often. Our telomeres are the protective end caps of our chromosomes, protecting our DNA in each and every cell. And they progressively shorten because of normal replication. And when they become too short, cells can no longer divide and enter the state of senescence, which is linked to DNA damage, aging, and various age-related diseases. Now, studies indicate that molecular hydrogen, due to its selective antioxidant properties, may slow the rate of telomere shortening. Also, molecular hydrogen modulates mTOR, mammalian target of rapamycin, promoting an extended lifespan. Now let's talk about mTOR a little bit, because many of you may not know what I'm talking about. mTOR basically is activated by exercise, insulin, and also molecular hydrogen. And when mTOR is activated, it releases hormones that help grow muscle. Why is that important? Because we know that one of the #1 signs of aging is a loss of muscle mass, right? So again, molecular hydrogen modulates mTOR, promoting that extended lifespan. And number 3, molecular hydrogen also has an impact on telomerase activity. Telomerase, an enzyme that can add DNA sequence repeats to the telomeres, in other words, counteracting the effects of telomere shortening. Now that we have a good understanding of the effects of molecular hydrogen on a cellular level and even a mitochondrial level, we can understand the positive impact molecular hydrogen has on over 170 common diseases. So let's review its impact on some of these. The common culprits in neurodegenerative diseases, such as dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ALS, MS, etc., are oxidative stress, inflammation, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Not only does molecular hydrogen effortlessly cross that blood-brain barrier and neutralizes these brain-damaging forces, but it also stops neurons from self-destructing by inhibiting apoptosis, and it regulates autophagy by clearing out cellular debris and damaged proteins, like amyloid beta in Alzheimer's and alpha-synuclein in Parkinson's. In Parkinson's models, molecular hydrogen protects dopaminergic neurons, resulting in smoother movements and less tremors. And molecular hydrogen also protects against excitotoxicity, where neurons get overstimulated by glutamate, as seen in diseases like ALS and Huntington's. What is cancer? In simple terms, cancer starts with a mutation of our nuclear DNA and mitochondrial DNA caused by hydroxyl free radicals. And as we already know, molecular hydrogen can enter the cell and selectively neutralize these cancer-causing free radicals. Studies actually show this tumor-suppressing quality of molecular hydrogen. By reducing oxidative stress and inflammation and protecting our DNA, molecular hydrogen also cuts the power supply to cancers and inhibits metastasis. Cancer cells are often considered senescent cells, defective cells that keep lingering around, and molecular hydrogen helps regulate apoptosis. And while cancer treatments often leave the immune system broken, molecular hydrogen keeps it running smoothly, ready to recognize and attack cancer cells. Studies show the impact of molecular hydrogen on various types of cancer. In preclinical studies, hydrogen puts the brakes on GBM or glioblastoma, the worst possible brain cancer, by inhibiting GBM cell production, migration, and invasion, all while protecting healthy brain tissue during chemo and radiation treatments. Molecular hydrogen also shows promise in breast cancer, lung cancer, and liver cancer, colorectal cancer by restoring the CD8 plus T cells, cervical and endometrial cancer, renal cancer, esophageal cancer, and skin cancer. The conclusion of many of these studies is that the combination of conventional treatments with molecular hydrogen allows for improved compliance, better clinical outcomes, and less adverse reactions. It's well established that the gut microbiome, those trillions of microbes hanging around in our digestive tract, plays a huge role in overall health. But did you know it's also deeply connected to the body's energy levels, metabolism, and optimal cellular function? The good bacteria, or anaerobic bacteria, in your microbiome help break down food, especially fiber, into short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. And these short-chain fatty acids are an essential fuel source for your cells, particularly the cells lining your gut, keeping them healthy and efficient at nutrient absorption. Now, butyrate also supports mitochondrial function, improving how your cells generate energy, hello, cellular power boost, and contributing to overall metabolic health. This actually means that a healthy gut equals better energy production at the cellular level. Now, the key to supercharging your cellular energy through your gut is to nurture a diverse, balanced microbiome, supporting gut health with anti-inflammatory foods, omega-3s. And also regular exercise will help repair leaky gut and keep those endotoxins in check. So the question now is, how does molecular hydrogen contribute? Through its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, molecular hydrogen fortifies the gut barrier and lining and helps modulate ion transport. One fascinating area of interest is how hydrogen may help restore the electrical potential of the gut to above 300 millivolts, which is the threshold necessary for promoting the colonization of beneficial anaerobic bacteria. What about age-related diseases? What about living longer, longevity, lifespan? Well, we can see how molecular hydrogen promotes longevity with its selective antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, its modulation of autophagy and apoptosis, its cyto and mitoprotective actions, and its positive effects on stress, energy production, a healthy gut biome, and DNA repair. In addition, studies show that molecular hydrogen improves DNA methylation, sleep quality, strength, general pain, brain metabolism indices, and antioxidant status. We also learned already that molecular hydrogen, due to its selective antioxidant properties, may slow the rate of telomere shortening, modulates mTOR, promoting an extended lifespan, and has a potential impact on telomerase activity. So if you plan to increase your lifespan, molecular hydrogen definitely should be considered, not? Now let's wrap it up with discussing the therapeutic applications of molecular hydrogen. Surprise! Our bodies naturally produce hydrogen through the fermentation of fibers from fruits and veggies by our gut bacteria. However, if your diet is less than stellar, your digestion is a bit sluggish, or you're just aging, thanks time, your hydrogen levels might drop, impacting your cellular and biochemical processes. Now, when we drink or inhale hydrogen, it is then carried to our cells by our blood plasma. Hydrogen saturation in our blood occurs at 1.8 to 2.2 cc's per liter. And any excess hydrogen is simply exhaled, which explains why hydrogen is 100% safe and we cannot overdo it. Now let's review the various molecular hydrogen delivery systems. Hydrogen tablets usually are elemental magnesium, and when dissolved in water they can change the pH of the water and produce hydrogen as a byproduct. The taste often is metallic and one has to drink it immediately as the hydrogen is unstable. Now, average concentration is between 2 and 8 cc's per liter. While a simple chemical reaction releases hydrogen from tablets, hydrogen units employ electrolysis. This method is used in hydrogen bottles, home units, and commercial units that produce hydrogenated water or hydrogen gas for inhalation, or both. An electrical current splits water into hydrogen and oxygen gases. The oxygen is released and the hydrogen gas either inhaled or suspended back in the water. Now, the better devices use a PEM, a proton exchange membrane, such as an SPE membrane, a solid polymer electrolyte membrane. Now, the PEM allows only protons, H+, to pass through, ensuring the separation of hydrogen and oxygen. This produces high purity hydrogen, 99.99%, without any hazardous byproducts, which obviously is ideal for medical or therapeutic use. I often get the question, Dr. Mike, what's the difference between consuming hydrogenated water and inhaling hydrogen gas? Here's the answer. Inhalation may deliver quicker results due to direct entry into the bloodstream. Hydrogen water provides more gradual benefits as hydrogen needs to be absorbed through the digestive system. Inhalation may be more effective for acute conditions and neurodegenerative diseases due to higher concentrations of hydrogen. Hydrogen-rich water is great for general health maintenance, prevention, and GI issues where direct contact with the gut may be beneficial. Now, in order to understand or get an idea of the difference in concentration within the two delivery systems, we need to talk about flow rates, because various devices will have different flow rates. For example, some home units produce 300, 600, or even 1200 cc's per minute, while some commercial units can produce up to 2000 and 3000 cc's per minute. The better devices have a concentration of 4 to 4.3% of hydrogen. Remember, hydrogen becomes explosive or flammable above 4.3%. Now, this means that if, for example, we use a 600 cc per minute device, we inhale at 4%, 24 cc's of hydrogen per minute, or 360 cc's of hydrogen in just 15 minutes. Now, to consume 360 cc's of hydrogen by drinking hydrogen water at only 1.7 cc's per liter, we would need to consume approximately 62 gallons. Okay, so that's the difference. Inhalation provides a much higher concentration. Conclusion. Molecular hydrogen is a science-based, standalone or adjunct therapy that is 100% safe, improves patient outcomes, lessens adverse reactions. It is used by many healthcare professionals, but also can be found in med spas, wellness clinics, and gyms. Now, if you are a healthcare practitioner and considering a commercial unit, it's imperative you purchase a high-end device with the highest quality standards. In general, look for the following. Look for systems that guarantee pure molecular hydrogen inhalation. So these systems usually use electrolysis with a SPE or a PEM membrane. Okay, high-end units also can run continuously, allowing one patient after another to use the device, because we need a catalyst, a device that uses the right materials such as white gold, platinum, titanium. High-end units also require a larger tank with sterile or distilled water. And the best devices come with sensors to monitor hydrogen production, hydrogen purity, and more. They should also include automatic alerts and shut-off features if the water quality is inadequate. And high-end systems often also introduce additional features, such as eye goggles to treat eye conditions and hydrogen boots for diabetic wound care, for example. I hope you truly enjoyed this comprehensive, scientifically based presentation on molecular hydrogen, and that you now understand why molecular hydrogen has such a vast impact not only on most common diseases, but also on longevity, aging, and even athletic performance. So scan the QR code on your screen right there. It brings you straight to my website, biohackingunlimited.com. There's our resources pages. They are free. One of them is molecular hydrogen. Check out the book, check out the scientific references, and feel free to contact me with any questions anytime. Thank you.